We're giving people a world exclusive here. A lot of this is inside baseball. I was not told this in confidence, but I still called you and brought up my sources because you had told me similar things and said, do you think we should roll this out?
You know, Alex, everything you just said is absolutely accurate. We know that Judge Napolitano is a personal favorite of the president. The president describes him as the one judge who makes federal law understandable and the Constitution understandable. The argument against him in the previous round was that he was a state judge. By the way, Felix Frankfurter was a state judge. That is really of no consequence. The president did feel in the first round that he had to go with a list that had been recommended by the Federalist Society. Napolitano was not on that list, although he certainly could have been based on qualifications. Having now fulfilled that commitment, I don't believe the president, or I don't know, but I'm not sure the president will feel that he must select from that list again, particularly as long as his nominee is a solid conservative. I think Napolitano is very, very much in the hunt. I think he was the president's emotional choice for the previous nomination, and it would be a great statement because the judge is a great conservative, but he's also a great libertarian, very much pro-freedom. So I'm optimistic. I think that the left will deride him as a fox talking head, but he is, by any measure, brilliant, and I know he has the high regard of the president.
I don't want to get into too much of the inside details, but just specifically, he's at the top of the list this round. Judge Andrew Napolitano is currently at the top of the list. How do we make sure he stays at the top and gets in there despite the leftist globalist bullying? You know, anybody that's really good, that's who they're going to fight, just like they fought Trump getting into office.
Well, if you're a believer, as I am, that Andrew Napolitano would be a great Supreme Court justice, you should reach out for the president. You can call the White House switchboard where they're set up to take messages from the American people, 202-456-1414, 202-456-1414. Flooding the White House switchboard with supportive calls would be very helpful. Keep it short, keep it respectful, keep it real. We're not talking about manufacturing calls. We're talking about individual info warriors calling in to let the president know how they feel.
That's right. I'm getting a jump on the leftist globalist media who is going to immediately go and dig back into the news and remember when we actually already said all this on air. So that's why I'm not giving out any secret information that he is the front runner. Basically, oh, yeah, everything vets out. You're it next round. And I could see how the first time go with the whole computer-generated, most conservative federal judge voting record. But he also has a very conservative record at the state level. And as you said, there have been many top Supreme Court justices, you name it, that were state judges.
Yeah, that's no disqualification to say the least. So it would make a strong statement, particularly in view of the president's recent position that he will support federal legislation to support state legalized medical marijuana, a position that Judge Napolitano also supports. He is not a Bush conservative, although that's kind of an oxymoron.
Wouldn't you call him a nationalist, libertarian, pro-Americana populist?
More libertarian than that, but on law and order issues, certainly he's a hardliner. But he's also a supporter of civil liberties, a supporter of civil rights.
So he's really a constitutionalist.
Without any question. And he's a friend of this show. He is just a solid guy. Be the best possible nominee for the president.
Well, Trump also knows that it was Napolitano and you and I and others that first exposed the illegal spying on the president and who've been proven right over and over again. He knows how smart Napolitano is, not just on the law, but wide-ranging. I mean, I've had dinner with him many times. I know you're best friends with him. He's super smart about everything.
Well, he called that exactly right, the fact that the British were conducting surveillance on Trump so as to keep the hands clean of John Brennan and the deep state. He was widely derided for that at the time he said it. Of course, it's now been proven to be absolutely correct.
get back to your studio and let's get you on Skype to cover the incredible hearings. You got brought up a bunch. I know right off the top of my head 4 or 5 lies that Rosenstein told to Congress just in the testimony I've seen. It's pretty incredible. But you've got Trump and all these candidates he backed winning, validating him. You've got all these great things happening now with the Supreme Court. You've got the Supreme Court ruling on Trump's side this week. I mean, this has got to be horrifying the authoritarian left right now. They're just apoplectic.
Well, and it's time for the president to fire Rosenstein. He has cause as never before.
Well, Gowdy even got off the fence and said, look, you're wrecking this country. This investigation is killing this country. Trump's not against the country. There's no evidence. If you don't have evidence to indict his ass with a grand jury right now, then I say shut it down. I mean, that's got to really get to him.
All right. Well, I look forward to joining you by Skype shortly.
There goes Roger Stone. Thank you very, very much, Roger.